going to go live.
Well, it's 6:59, but I'm unmuting.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the regular meeting of Helotes City Council. This is June 10th, 2021. The time is 7 p.m. We're going to start with our invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. This evening, our invocation is going to be given by Councilwoman Linda Salazar. If you mind, stand and move your hands.
Loving God, be with us as we work today. Fill this place with inspiration and energy. Help us to work as a team and bring out the best in each other. May we be efficient and achieve all we need to, but also remember to find time for rest. May this place be full of mercy and friendship, and may peace and harmony inhabit this space. Thank you for this day and the opportunity to work together. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. We're going to go into our citizens to be heard. Do we have anybody that is logged in online?
Mr. Mayor, we're not going to do the certificates of achievement.
I'm sorry. I said it wrong. My bad. This is why I shouldn't wear my glasses when I'm looking up close. I am very honored actually to do today to recognize the first of what will be many, undoubtedly, what I call Helotes Proud. We have so many talented and wonderful individuals in our community, and I can think of no better example or time to kick off this than to recognize one of our citizens that with a certificate of appreciation and achievement. Let me give you a little bit of history here. Just the other week, I had the honor of attending our local car show here that was held at the Helotes Fairgrounds Association there in our ag building. And I had the opportunity to be able to award the Mayor's Choice. And there were a tremendous amount of beautiful vehicles there, and one outstanding tractor. And what really struck me is not only the dedication and the quality of the tractor that was done from scratch, but this young gentleman also produced a document. This is his document. In there, you can see how many pages are in there of history that he wrote out, process that he wrote out, photographic journal, every single receipt he used, the process from everything from transportation to air filters and everything in between. And it just pushed it over the top. I've never seen such a piece of work of dedication and history. And so today we are going to honor O'Connor Sr., Matthew Escobedo, for being the winner of the Mayor's Choice Award, and we're going to present him with a certificate of achievement. And we are a graduate, actually, a proud graduate. I'd like to announce you are going to Texas A&M, correct?
Yes, sir.
Along with my daughter, will be there. We're going to give you this.
Jacob.
Okay. We're going to do Matthew Escobedo, the Mayor's Choice Award winner, certificate of achievement. Oh no, you should hold that, right? You know what? Yeah, absolutely. We'll just put it in there. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good job, sir. Job well done, sir. All right. That's one of the best parts of this job, is being able to recognize excellence in our community. Now we will go to item number 3, which are citizens to be heard. Do we have anybody signed up online?
No, Mr. Mayor, nobody signed up online, just the 3 signups in person.
Okay, so first up on citizens to be heard, you'll have 3 minutes to speak on any topic you like. We cannot engage in conversation on the topic. We have Mr. David Sapensky. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is David Sapansky, 10634 Rainbow View, Helotes, Texas. I am here to compliment the city administrator, Maria Mendoza, PIO Andrea Warts, and EDC Glenn Glosby. And I do this because I've worked with them for 8 years, and they have been tremendous on everything that they did and do for the city of Helotes. And on that note, I'd like to say that I've been taking the pictures as a photographer for 8 years licensed in the state of Texas. And I do the Carnival Parade, Helotes Rodeo Festival, all organizations, churches, and the Honey House Senior Home. And there is no charge to the city for everything that I do in all of Helotes businesses or anything else. And the pictures I take, I deliver to each and every single place I go without charge. I pay my own taxes so that I don't have to turn around and do a tax-free with the state. And as a result, anybody, and I'd like to concentrate more on churches and other organizations, contact me. I will see that I will do everything I can possibly do. And everything I do is in honor of, as stated, compliments of the mayor of the city of Helotes, including the city itself. And that's how I address it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you for your service. Okay, next up we have Lindsay Barnett.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Barnett. I reside at 631 River Ranch Road in Bandera, Texas. I own 14450 Antonio Drive in Helotes. We bought the property in Helotes in 2018. Whenever we bought the property, it was an abandoned house that had been vacant for about 20 years. We found holes in the walls, dead animals, pentagrams on the ceiling. We had neighbors who were constantly afraid that somebody was lurking outside because that's the type of house it was. So we bought the house, we fell in love with it and saw the potential behind it, and we spent 1.5 years restoring it. We've been Airbnb-ing the house for 3 years, and through that time we have learned a lot about what to look for and how to protect our house and our neighbors. And so we know that there have been issues in the past, and we have been making strides to protect our neighbors and our community, and we know that there's some ordinances that may be coming up due to Airbnbs and the potential problems with them. And we wanted to be a part of the change and helping fix the problem in the future. We feel like we have a lot to share because we've done this for so long, and so now that we know what to look for, what kind of comments what people say whenever they're going to misuse your property. And so anyway, that's what we wanted to talk about today. I did want to share a couple comments from some of our previous guests. We had a great time. Our 4-year-old loved exploring the dry riverbed. We found some fossils there and saw deer. The fire pit is so cool, and we listened to music from the band across the river while making s'mores. It was so much fun. Wow, what a complete gem in charming Helotes. Our family of 6 loved it. Our 4 girls did not want to leave. Perfect for a big family. Lots of land for exploring. You could walk to the Cracked Mug every day. We hope to be back soon. So this is obviously the type of guests that we want to attract and that we want to bring to Helotes to help our fellow neighbors and businesses. There aren't many places to stay in Helotes. There's no hotels in Helotes. So in order to attract guests here, we have to have places for them to stay. So we feel it's important to protect, our home and places for guests to visit. And that's what I want to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Lindsay. Next we have Mike Burnett.
My name is Mike Barnett. I reside at 631 River Ranch Road in Bandera, Texas as well. Again, Lindsay and I own the Airbnb at 14450 Antonio Drive. So the main thing that I'd like to talk to you about is trying to be a part of the solution. There has been a lot that we have definitely learned about Airbnbs and about people's use of Airbnbs. But I think the economic impact from our Airbnb just can't be underestimated. With nowhere to stay next to Old Town Helotes, there's a natural desire for people to want to be close. They want to be close so they can walk to places. They want to be close so they can feel like they're part of it. If you look going down Highway 16 in Medina, Texas, a 1A school is going to have a hotel in 6 months. Bandera has a Best Western in downtown. So Helotes is the next major city, and the largest of those 3. There's nowhere to stay. So it's only natural that people want to stay somewhere close to where they're at, and they want to feel like they're a part of it. All the things that are here that you've tried and people have tried over the last 2 or 3 decades to try to build, they want to be a part of that, even if it's for a weekend. So I think we have to figure out a way to get people to those locations. As far as being able to help solve the problems, I think having a committee full of individuals that have either Airbnbs, maybe HOAs, because sometimes there's a problem with HOA if a house is within a HOA, having those representatives and all those people together can come up with an ordinance that would be reasonable and fair for everybody. On the way here, I heard that Floors is going to have a concert for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. So there'll be a rock concert. And I can tell you, Floors, just like Lindsay mentioned in the comments by the guests, it's already so loud at our house without anything on the night when Floors is open that it already breaks the San Antonio noise ordinance. Already, with no one there. So what we're concerned about is that any noise ordinance is just essentially a straw man that's going to be set up, that is easily going to be knocked down. And that shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be to encourage business. And that's what we want to talk about, and that's what we're here.
Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Excellent points. Okay. That brings us to consent agenda. Tonight we have consent agenda items 4 through 10. These are designed to be enacted by one motion. We're looking for a motion and a second consent agenda.
I'll go ahead and move that we approve consent agenda items 4 through 10.
Councilman Sanders, a second.
I'll second.
Councilperson Salazar. Okay. With no.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a comment on the
Oh, please.
motion on 7.
Yes, number 7.
I just want to make a comment. I wanted to thank Stevie Sykes for her long years of service to the city, especially on the Helotes Economic Development Corporation. She was actually one of the ones who started the corporation in the 1990s. She was also one of the ones who was starting the corporation of the city of Helotes in the 1980s. So I just wanted to just say a shout out to Stevie. Thank you for all of your service, and I think it is time for you to rest. You've been a great asset to the city of Helotes, and I just wanted to extend my congratulations and thanks for your service.
Excellent. And to that point, I might also add, I had a phone conversation with her. She had been involved with the city of Helotes before it was a city of Helotes. And all from the first days I ever showed up here in Helotes, I've seen her and her dedication to the city and your years of service are definitely appreciated. Thank you very much, Steve Sides, for all of your years of hard work and service to the city. Are there any other questions or any issues? Okay. Then all in favor of approving consent agenda items 4 through 10, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to the mayor's report. This is a little section where we'll get to give you a little update on some items that have been going on in the city. Some time ago, there was a directive given to the fire department to discontinue shopping at HEB for various reasons. At this point, we have been able to rescind that and redirect the fire department to be able to shop at HEB or wherever they want. They don't have to shop at HEB, but to open that up. There have been concerns that possibly might be delay in service, and the truth of the matter, the apparatuses are parked in such a way that we're talking just a matter of 30 seconds outside of district. And as a firefighter myself, I know that that's not significant to push us our response times out. We also keep a vehicle in service at the fire department and staff so that we can get a first responder on scene in the event of a run. We are in the process of revising our ordinance concerning ethics commission, and just to kind of give a little bit of direction. This will be a future agenda item that will have to be voted on, but we're looking at this in the sense of the appropriate way to be able to staff it, its direction. There is some question on whether it has a authority to be able to recommend or actual decision authority, and the way it was written just needs to be addressed. So it's been a long time since there's been an ethics commission, but it's in our ordinances, and so it needs to be filled, and so we're going to be, we are in the process of working on that right now.
Mr. Mayor, point of order. Since the city council is in charge of ordinances as far as voting them in or not, I would suggest that it would be a good idea at some point to bring this under items for individual consideration as a discussion and direction to the staff. I think that the city council needs to have some input into this, whether we want this to be a committee or a commission, and then that kind of thing. So, and that's just what I would say.
That's an excellent point, and that can be certainly integrated in this process. It's just really just to point out that there, somebody may be looking, well, how come there's an ethics commission? It's under process of being developed and fixed, and so that's a very good point to be able to have a discussion on direction on how it needs to be formed. We are also little things add up. That may not be a big thing to throw a huge party over, but a lot of people in our Brycewood community have felt a bit out of sorts, far away from the center of activity at Helotes, but there were concerns that have been expressed and little things that we were able to do, including putting a dead-end no outlet sign on one of the streets to prevent some tractor trailers from turning around and being, thinking they're taking a shortcut when really all they're doing is tearing up a small street, realizing they're stuck and landlocked. But Brycewood, we want you to know that your opinions and concerns matter to us, and we're addressing even the littlest of them. With that, we'll finish up that we are going to have an ad hoc public safety liaison officer. Looking forward to have that filled here shortly. To be a position that will just coordinate activities and information between police and fire and the mayor's office and council. And so that's something we're looking to start up here. It's something that I did when I was on council 10 to 14 years ago. And so we're going to reinstitute that as well. So that brings us to items for individual consideration. We're going to start with item number 12, which will be the discussion of an action on a request by Common Signs for approval of signage for Broadway Bank located at 12589 Bandera Road. described as Bearcat property ID number 239952. Do we have a motion and a second?
I motion we start on item 12.
We have a motion to discuss an act by Councilperson Salazar.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Crossan. Okay. Councilman?
Okay, so I'm looking at the proposed signs. They look fine, just small signs kind of indicating which way to go and making things easier for the customers. So it looks fine to me.
Okay.
So I concur. I looked at the packet and it was fine. I also want to point out that P&Z unanimously recommended approval, and obviously I agree with them. As somebody who uses Broadway, I think these small changes will work well for our community.
Are there any other comments?
I just want to point out, I agree with the P&Z Commission's statement about 2 monument signs. The one that's actually on Bandera Road should be the one that actually has the number, because it would be really confusing to have it on Leicester Road and Bandera Road. It implies there's 2 addresses when there's really one. So I definitely support that statement that P&Z pushed forward to us.
Okay. Any other further questions or issues? All in favor of item number 12 as it is written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next, we're looking for a motion a second for the discussion of an action on appointing Joel Lutz to the City of Helotes Economic Development Corporation, Place 7, with the term expiring September 30th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll motion that we discuss and take action on item number 13 as written.
Okay, a second.
I'll second.
So I know Mr. Lutz. I know what he does with the chamber. I think he's somebody that's very active in our community. He obviously gets around and through the chamber, he has a lot of interaction with small businesses. I think this is a really good person to fill a vacancy on the EDC with what he's already done in the past and what he currently does for our community.
Okay. Before I get to you, Joel, if you don't mind stepping up and coming up front. I met Joel Lutz
About a month ago, 2 months ago?
2 months ago, and had an excellent conversation discussing his past involvement with the EDC and some of his thoughts and direction on not only EDC but the city, some opportunities, some successes, some failures, and was really impressed with his knowledge and his desire and his passion to serve the city. So he will be up here for any questions here, but I want to turn it over to Councilman.
No, I'm just really impressed with your experience and qualifications based on your application here. Prior as a board member, active board member, NASD bond commission, goes on and on and on. Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Manson.
Thank you for stepping forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Salazar.
Yeah, same. I'd like to just say thank you for stepping up, for volunteering, for getting involved, because this is how things get done, is when people are willing to come together and work together. So I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Councilman Sanders.
So I echo everybody else's comments. I just one quick question. So how long did you serve on the EDC?
That's a good question. I believe I filled in for a term for someone. It was 2 years or less.
Okay, great. But thanks for throwing your hat in the ring. I see you're a volunteer in so many different ways in this community as well as the larger community. So thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Joel. No more discussion. All in favor of item number 13 as written to appoint Joel Lutz to City of Helotes Economic Development Corporation, Place 7, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Welcome, Joel. Brings us to item number 14, looking for a motion a second to discuss and take action on appointing David Cato to the City of Helotes Board of Adjustment, Place 4, to serve concurrently with the Office of Mayor.
Sir, I move that we discuss and take action on agenda item number 14 as written.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, with that, Mr. Cato, if you want to come up and be here, we're going to have an opportunity for anybody to ask any particular questions. We'll go ahead and give Councilman Sanders first comments.
So I will say I was really surprised to see that Mr. Cato had put his hat into the ring. And I say that lovingly because I've served with Dave Cato on Iron Horse Canyon Homeowners Association for 4 years of his maybe 20 years as the lead, or 14 to 15 years. He's been a leader in that part of the Helotes community. He's committed, he's dedicated, and he cares. And so it's a win for the city to have your involvement, Dave. And I'm just glad you can dedicate more time, because you put a lot of time and a lot of other things that you're involved in within the Iron Horse Canyon community. So thank you for stepping forward.
Thank you for the kind words.
Councilman Merchant.
Hey, thank you for stepping up, Mr. Cato. We've had some interesting online conversations. You may not know this or remember this, and maybe you do. Interesting online conversations. So I know that you're very thoughtful, you're intuitive, and you're committed. So thank you for stepping up.
My privilege, I'll go ahead and take and just say that I've known Dave Cato for 17 years, ever since we moved in and went to our very first homeowners association meeting. There wasn't a homeowners association other than what the builder had, and we worked long and hard for several years before we got some positions. And I believe you were the very first resident board member, and has been there since then. I have seen few people display the level of dedication in the torrent of concerns by citizens and residents and be able to maintain a school. And the Board of Adjustments is a board that has powers to overrule decisions made by City Council. They meet rarely, but it is incredibly important and carries, well, ultimately the most power in the city. Checks and balances for City Council. And so it requires people that have wisdom, calm demeanor, and ability to be able to see the issues for the facts and be able to make a righteous decision. And I'm pleased to have nominated you. Are there any questions, Councilman Maskey?
No, thank you for stepping
Councilman Salza?
Just wanted to say thank you.
Again, thank you. Thank you for stepping up.
All right. Thank you, sir. All in favor of approving item number 14 as written for the appointment of David Cato to the City of Helotes Board of Adjustment, place 4, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. We're now going to item number 15. We're looking for a motion and a second for the discussion of an action on appointing following council members to serve as liaison to each of the listed municipal committees. For Matthew McCrossan to be liaison officer for Economic Development Corporation, for Matthew Merchant to be the liaison to Board of Adjustment, and for council member Linda Salazar to be the liaison to Planning and Zoning. Looking for a motion and a second.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we discuss and take action on item 15 as written.
Councilwoman Massey, a second?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Sanders. Councilwoman?
I'm very glad to see new people on all of these liaison positions. And so anyway, I totally approve.
Excellent. Councilman Sanders?
I agree with Councilperson Massey. Fully support.
That's right.
Yes, as discussed, I'm good with joining in and being the liaison with the Planning and Zoning Commission. So I'm excited to move forward with this and excited that the Mats are joining in.
Excellent.
I have nothing.
So happy to serve.
Excellent. Okay. For those that are voting on their position for themselves, we'll just assume you're voting for the other ones unless there's any opposition. We'll do all three of them as one motion. All in favor of approving item number 15 as written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, we're having the discussion and action of an ordinance of the Council of the City of Helotes, amending Municipal Code of Ordinances, Chapter 38, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 4, Open Burning, for sections as written. We're looking for a motion and a second.
Sir, I move that we discuss and take action on agenda item number 16 as written.
I second.
Councilmember Sanders and Salazar. Councilman?
So I had a little bit of involvement in this. So the Helotes American Legion Post came to the city, right, to the staff and to Chief Moreland, and they wanted to know if there's a way to actually do a flag ceremony, an actual proper way, and it's in a real ceremony with multiple people and a dignified way to retire an American flag or a Texas flag, and then ultimately burning it and paying proper respect. Generally that is done through organizations like VFW, American Legion Post, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and things like that. The way our ordinances were written, there really was no clear, definitive statement that said that on the 14th of June, Flag Day, that you could actually, these organizations could actually conduct that ceremony. And so it was really a no-brainer. The city staff, the EMS coordinator, Chief Moreland, said, yeah, we should be able to integrate this. So there's no question about being able to do this on the 14th of June. So I wholeheartedly support, so there's never a question on these organizations being able to conduct this ceremony in the city of Helotes.
So I learned a lot. I did not know that there was a specific ceremony for this, but I definitely support us paying proper respect, and for people who want to, retire their flags with the ceremony. I think that's very nice, and I think so long as we're doing it safely, it sounds good.
So I really appreciate y'all coming forward to the city to address this. One thing I would like to discuss is that since we're naming these service organizations, would it also be appropriate to also list like Civil Air Patrol, JRTC over O'Connor, and organizations that have a connection to the military?
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate, or if we could use a term that would be inclusive of recognized organizations.
I think the way Councilmember McCrossin worded it is perfect. We can just say, or similar organizations.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this. And I really thank the chief for providing a safe place to have this happen. It's very important. Thank you.
I think it's a great idea to do this and add it to our protection, and thanks for writing it up. Very, very good.
One of the intents as we wrote this up the way and through the processes of editing and preparing it for you is we didn't want to burden most organizations, anybody that's actually going to follow the proper method of retiring a flag as it's written by federal standards. Is the organization is going to take the time to do things right, and so really safety concerns of being, it's very difficult for us to imagine somebody that would be taking that much care to do things right, do so in a haphazardly and destructive and careless manner. So the organizations that we listed, as long as they're doing it according, we don't feel like the need to burden them with even $0 permits or extra hassle or layers of having to go for permission or get the fire marshal out there. We wanted to eliminate and bypass that. By definition of their organization, they are the pillars of doing things right and being examples of safety conscious and proper execution. So I just wanted to eliminate and not put extra layers of hassle to do the right thing. So, all in favor of approving item number 16 as written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we're going to adjourn into closed session in accordance with Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. In addition to the matters listed below, any matters scheduled for open session may be discussed in closed session as appropriate and authorized by law. Specifically, we'll be looking at Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, to deliberate the purchase of real property as proposed by the City of Helotes Economic Development Corporation for future development purposes. No action will be taken, and upon completion, we will reconvene here. The current time is 7:33.
Thank you for that. We do appreciate it. Of course. It's a good idea.
Coming for you. I'm Celine.
We'll only do ceremony flags.
it's acting up more because I've gained weight since I started working here.
I know.
Yes. I know it too, and I knew it before. And my doctor told me, my chiropractor told me, and your body's way of saying, it actually helped a little bit. It helped a little bit. My hip was actually dislocated too. I had chronic symptoms. And when she aligned it, I noticed a difference. The thing is, you have to go consistent. Yes. But that's the main thing. Well, our insurance covers it, not completely, but yeah, it just to rely on that when that really isn't what I need to do. It's a good idea.
Recognize that very well. It's like, oh,
When I was starting off the track.
To sit all day, yeah.
What I was thinking about doing is do voice memos. What I like to do is get a burn barrel, heat it up, and then inside have a steel pipe. Get the burn out, get the burn in, and then once it burns there, it doesn't burn the outside. It's I was thinking, what I was thinking about, like odd years we do it, even years they did the stage, each of us gets a chance.
You guys again, don't have.
I just wanted to address to make sure that I concentrated on your writing. Across in a future, always over the training. I think we'll do everything in the background as we can, which is what I deserve and should be. I want to see any this one doing. Telling you, we need to get back to doing. I was aware at the time. I was aware of my we need to do that. People do they need to flip flop. And sit down. Understand that they couldn't afford the older they work businesses. They don't go to Facebook. They don't do it. I've talked to everyone of them. They won't do it. Well, you know, just running the business and my son or my daughter or my, yada, yada. And they don't, they're just getting paid and all that. But the flyer was there and they were, in fact, I used to take those, but get money for those. Yeah. Every single person.
But all that was talking about 37?
Yeah. What was he talking about? Not around here.
Yeah, they did come from Florida. South Florida.
So you look familiar.
We're all trying to.
Yeah, oh, yeah, those are the guys who work for me. Yeah, I worked at Day Two. Older guys. Everybody on the shirt.
He was 1920s. Flags ahead. American Legion said that's
But you are very blessed. I
Like she's forward and
should see her first. I used that, but she's probably she don't think about it. When you go to a little house, they're in the house where you have to know little things, you're just get a remote and whatever. And then this was like,
And the only reason our
because we and then you went through one. That was him with their and then that's the little well road now. And then that's what you're going to want that little well there. And all this stuff. And
the organization comes up.
They sell.
When we were retired,
but I when everything happened in Hawaii.
so kind of a valid role.
I've got a
I was
little
going to
closet.
watch it.
You know,
That one's a conflict of interest. I just never read it, but I'll definitely take part.
So that was.
I was just like, no, this is back to work, nice.
next time we're ready for it.
I'm happy.
It's outside.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yes,
I'm looking out my window, and right in front of the car station, I said, they look fine.
you know what I mean?
He said, well, look flat.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm looking at it. Come on, and it hit me. You have a big white flagpole, really tall behind city. Really hard. But I know they were out here that afternoon. It took 2 or 3 days of flopping around in different directions. Probably.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's what we're afraid of, like, we move. And.
Oh, he's on the wall. Over here. I know.
But it must be because it's coming over.
That's how wave is. The waves are
The waves where it's going. It has to be.
It's got to be. But it does seem like a lot more than and it's not like I said, it's reckless.
But you never see traffic. I mean, the only time you hit traffic is
You gotta carry
I
weapons.
mean, the rest of the way. Super fun. Driving home is actually
There are a lot of,
because you go up that one hill, you don't see how.
there are a lot of, thoughts.
Yeah.
It's been quiet.
I think it's,
We are sitting there, meeting them.
And they start on one train and then on another, but it's like,
So for
and
us,
so I was working USA,
So they
working
give
out
us
here,
don't think we
you know, and then
hey, let's do this out for you. and see how it goes.
obviously we love the area and stuff like that.
Um,
But we
I
look
think
at certain
my personal feeling is, I think
and
it's
I'm going like, wasn't paying attention to fire information. And some sections of high school.
They have to do
they know there's trouble, they know the near sheriff's office.
Well, and they brought it up, like,
But in a more suburban area,
even without it, we didn't know about it, and they had it exposure. Yeah, they exposed themselves, we had no idea, and how would we know?
It's just, you know, just.
We're like, we had to like.
So anyway,
Yeah.
For the reason I asked you.
so then I was like,
Passport about it.
I've always wanted to.
really?
Police chief.
I mean, you're a white.
probably, I have more.
I cannot get rifles, it's not always, unless I have.
One of my administration,
I got some.
so a lot of people drive far. Yeah. There's some to do it.
That's the only thing that's holding us back from being able to.
We can look at that, and I want to.
And on that side, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm kind of working on.
Once you do it, you know, I'll be there regardless of when.
Are they coming out to like
It's just, you know what I mean, like, it doesn't.
I've got other fire departments.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
I know when I-
Yes,
That's right. And I was there.
Yeah, it's gonna be that big. I'll stay with this one, I guess.
Yeah.
You know where the midway normally is?
You're old, you're
Yeah.
Bring that around.
This day.
And
Unfortunately, there's two, because they're gonna do flag. Covers the corner.
Got my
Goosebumps. It's gonna be, that's gonna be.
And you're gonna be there between the two of them.
Well, we're on very all the way.
Right where you walk in and out. I was like, what?
It's
Right there. I mean, literally from the door, you can see it. You know, it's like, it's like when you're those.
We're working on doing a solid
for a while, you're always going to hear that emotion.
where everything's going to go, and
I guess it's still from the
That way,
So whatever it is.
Mike, yes, right.
Yeah, I remember the name.
A little grunts.
That's the way it is. Thank you. But thanks for pointing out last week. I think it was you last week. I saw on the video they were talking about police officers what action they could take.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah.
What action they take and like all that kind of stuff. When I heard you, I was like, yes.
Well, I mean, I think the way that they were trying to convey it was that we're the victim. And I was like, no, the city's not the victim. I mean, the city does have tools to enforce it. Obviously,
as soon as you go in, there's an entrance for the employees.
as enforcing all the time.
Yeah, you know where the entrance is for the employees that are
Enforce it
working.
within staff at a local
he's gonna
level.
be right at the fort.
I mean, I'm for
Yeah.
drafting a noise ordinance as long as it's drafted thoughtfully.
Never has anything.
Yeah, with respect, no, seriously, like, cause you can just
I mean,
download it, decibel already, and it already is over the limit.
I mean, we also have Carnival that hosts concerts sometimes too. Those are just staples, and they've been here even before the city started. So.
I just really appreciate your comment on there's already stuff.
And that, well, yeah, that's the 3rd of July, right?
Floors, you absolutely close down floors, it's a bad place.
It won't be floors yet, it'll be a couple hours.
You go in
Well,
and
yeah.
the problem, and you remove that problem from the greater good.
And that's why I was saying, you know, just working together, I think part of the problem
On the
is
side of the
police,
road.
if they're called, they don't, you know, because the owner isn't there, they're trying not to like kill business, and be a, you know, party killer or gathering killer or whatever, but at the same time, they're trying to do what they're supposed to do, so they're kind of.
That's why they're moving.
So if we
We're
just
a little
there,
You should slide that, this big, all over the
it's
field.
okay to find.
But we did,
Yeah.
Whatever you ever read,
Oh,
it's whatever it is.
We have a lot of
I think they're
people
really
leave.
used to doing that, because they don't want to see the bad guys,
Yeah.
especially in today's world.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is show up on every area.
The problem with texting.
Again, yeah. I know they don't want to do that.
Yeah, they don't want to.
That's not what we're known
So,
for.
anyway, but anyway, I appreciate your comment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have to understand, like, if it was completely out of control and like it was a frat party, there were minors, I mean, our police is
They'll
gonna do
be able to
that.
back off all the way, almost all the way back here.
A good place too for our guys that might have that problem is
Yeah.
motor shield when it gets.
Right.
yeah.
They'll get it done. Yeah.
Well, we've had like over 340 guests.
Have somebody
And
barbecue.
total, in 3 years probably. You know?
Okay, no one.
No, No, but that's a lot of people, a lot of different people coming through, you know what I mean? And so to have like, I mean, problems on under two hands, under 10 problems, incidences, you know what I mean? So it's like,
And like our attorney said, I mean, majority of people that
Number of vendors that probably pick up.
Verbo and will go for that intent. They go to sleep and to walk around. It's those one people exactly, or that have animals.
That's exactly right.
That's us too. It's me too. I take my whole family and my 2 pets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, but like you said, majority of people do use it for that reason. It's just those one or two people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why, that's why when they started talking about how words is like 3 and then you get shut down, I was like, well, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're just gonna have all 5 floors and you're gonna say better place that can be visited? Like, that's not the way it works. So, anyway, I appreciate your comment. I think already having around here, the attorney, I think, was on here. But his point too was, you know, you've already tried to shut down everything.
That's when it starts.
And of course, it's something else that he's doing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they can be prohibited. The best thing is to
Yeah,
try
no,
to work
2 years
together
ago,
with
it
them,
was
have some sort of regulations in place.
Yeah.
Twice that.
And that's what we.
And we went down the whole field with our rest. And when we got out of the phones,
Yeah, I mean, and obviously you have a problem with it, you're not gonna rent to them again. And I'm sure you guys on your side, you have certain things like maybe, I don't know, if there's cleaning fees or there's damages, I'm sure you can assess damages. When you could, I mean, there's certain things that you guys can do too, and not rent to them anymore.
Yeah, those are kind of things that we kind of have to learn. First of all, one of them is the change of
That was
people that are going to do something else or have.
like a, just like, oh, does she want, oh, and she wants that. Because they do like the really good touches out. We're building another one now.
Go over to the quarry and land over, they got the well explosives.
Yeah.
And she'd ask me.
This immediate area where you kind of have a red flag and you're like,
I looked at Google Earth, I said, oh man, right here.
okay.
Right here, this area right here, oh, that's 10 acres of baseball.
That's probably a clear indicator.
I guess. But that's after that part of the board. But anyway, thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to meet you.
See you.
All right, see you.
When I first got here, what is that? Hey, at that time, they were doing it pretty regular. And what's this noise? Finally, let me on the road. I want ground. Workers ground. Mainly, that's what we motors. That's in Medina County. Yeah, we get a lot. We get a lot. Maybe that's an annex out that way. Somebody called me just yesterday. These folks, these farmers, these folks are moving from Michigan down here to Market. And I see them this, that, and the other about it because his in-laws want them to pick up their family and get them all over. And was not I was kind of slowly. And right now, the new kind of taxes. Yes. We bought out of Mico at Summit Ridge. Yeah, it's beautiful 4 acres. We came up, flattened out, perfect place for house. And then went down to the creek. It's going to be nice. I mean, there was an area where you could put a picnic table around the creek, because the creek went around.
Oh, yeah.
Put a bridge on it when it was wet. I can't understand. 3 acres of ground. Why are you building right off the road? It looks like a subdivision. It's crazy. And so we got disenchanted with that. We looked at a house up there last year. It was on 5 acres. And needed some work. And mainly just on the front trim everything back to it. And we got back in there. They had not done anything. They had just brush going all the way back up. Maybe 5 feet from back. And it was all the way around.
They're just right here.
Oh, let me just go to work for about 2 acres.
so much for the country. It's a good deal, but
Does La Quinta have a bathroom? No.
I already got out of the house that I had to raise up before I would
So
move.
they would have to take like they
I wasn't
turn
ready
the
for a real fixer up.
Yeah.
We ended up buying over here at,
A few more.
Paradise Creek, Paradise Crane and Canyon Creek or something like that. And the one portion is 25-acre lots.
Yes.
They're acres, so
Walkable, no.
Paradise
But
Canyon,
drivable, definitely.
Paradise Canyon acres.
But that's in
Is that south of the lake? Or south of the dam?
this is almost, where I'm at is near the peak where, as you come through, you just go right out of Bear County, Park Road 37 will take you.
Oh, yeah, we almost walked in down.
It's
The only thing that kept us from buying out there was
We went for spring- we went for spring break.
or the lots that are down
we
in
went for spring break
the
for a
basin.
couple of days.
Shit, that's nice.
They'll let the construction.
So these guys
deter you, it's terrible.
are got the houses
But
built,
here, at least we took the
and
toll.
they only have to pay for taxes on half acre, the rest of it's theirs, and whatever they want,
Until just,
they
yeah,
sell.
30 until
They
just
got
about.
19 cows
Right side up, right
rolling around,
up
and you gotta let them come in there.
Or whatever it is. Just north of it.
So
just north of
they
it.
didn't want anybody building behind them.
So it wasn't
So
too
guy
bad.
built this one, or bought that one, he bought this one, and ours is in there, they came in and fenced it. So 3/4 of my lots already fenced.
That's perfect. So you do a lot for me.
That's $30,000 worth of fence.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'll take that.
Like, maybe we should finish.
The road, the original branch road, really went down, and there's the Canyon Creek runs through there.
So you have water crossing?
Exactly.
They built one. What they had to do was for you guys. They said the angle was too steep for a full truck with a lot of water, it couldn't handle it, so they built the road up. And when I saw it, I don't know what this, because, that's, you'll like it, because you know no one's gonna build behind you. And nobody over there next to you can see you. So you're, to yourself. So we're gonna go high enough to see the view.
I love it.
The rain didn't
Like,
help.
the first house we
Snow
looked at, when we
didn't
first
get-
moved down here, was out at
You know, so.
we actually looked at a house, the existing house.
Again,
But
right? Yeah.
we weren't ready to close, get ours on the market. So just time when we work with it.
Oh, we've got a rumor, I live over here off of Tazewell and, Rivers Creek. And got Walmart's there.
Yep.
And the rumor is, because someone was surveying, maybe on the street after, surveying for it, so, no, I can't tell you. We got the Jack and John, and they're both.
4 lanes, 5 lanes? Yeah, it's a center
That's what
turn
it is.
lane.
Sam's is
They're
one.
dividing the
Either
traffic,
side.
they're building
Sam's is
lanes
right.
back way. You know what I mean?
They're gonna pay double more than ours. So I
Exactly.
told Gene Silver. Yeah. I called Gene, and said, he's like,
Everyone's like, oh, we'll take the back way.
that's
Now it's not gonna be the back way, everyone's gonna use it, you know what I mean? Exactly, yeah, like everyone's like using it.
I'm waiting for that.
The same thing
Once
with
that
houses,
happens, then
people would cut their housing to get to 674, and so now
I'll tell you what.
there is no back ways, like.
Sam's, when they decided to do all the thing, when they decided they're gonna do it quick.
The guy that was worked very close to was saying that, and he Sam's kids, and everything were going up. And he said that one of the daughters told him, my daughter wants to do it. But then I have no problem. What's that? I said, I'm running, she still owns the distillery. The Walmart.
Okay, so Joel has already done his training, right? Because he was an EDC member. Yeah, because once they do it, they don't, it doesn't expire. It doesn't, it's a lifetime award. It doesn't expire. Like Rich, he did it again just as a refresher. But once you do it, yeah, it'd be 14 years. But like Matt didn't redo it, Matt Acosta didn't redo it. He already had his training. So I'm sure he's done it. So then the only one we need is for the second listings to do it.
Banded, Chase Bank, China.
Wow.
So they got all that money from China, flew it over.
Wow.
There's more money. China said, look,
Yeah.
Too bad we could have bought a little of Amazon 20 years ago.
I'm
man.
telling you, man. I'm telling you.
my dad told me he was 40 years, so I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I mean, she's,
Your
yeah, she
money,
did
Dad, I
say,
don't want you to do it anyway.
yeah.
You worked hard, and that's your turn. So one day, when they bought one of his fashion clothes, Dad bought one and stuff. No, you don't do that.
So it's not going anywhere. Yeah.
He goes, yeah, well, when the president's
Like,
going
I
to
remember
the
Mr.
inner circle of Obama, I think, he bought that for $100 a share. He got a share, and I keep running my shares in this for 6 years.
Oh, really?
I said, okay, I said, I don't have to worry about it, so I'm going to live.
Yeah.
95, just for the share.
Yeah.
He's happy as a lark.
That's crazy. But
I was
like, don't worry, I was like, I'm just gonna give it to you.
people that bought one of those sets.
Oh, yeah.
$1,300 for the good one. You know, we kidded about it at work, so I went
Do you want me to
to visit
send
my
you?
dad and my sisters in St. Louis. And I went to a convenience store, I turned around, there was an ATM Bitcoin. A picture and said, guys, they write back, so they do these things.
good place today.
So, hanging in there.
I'm glad they have that makes me happy.
I have too many problems about
Oh, Fazone? Jason Fazone?
patriotic recognition. It's probably
Real good shit, yeah. It's a little bit different now.
Yeah. And not that the previous administration made a different decision. I think they have done the same thing. At least this one here's some on the table.
This is the first time we've had about 5 for a brand new one.
So really, before
Yeah,
we
just do it
that
online,
before,
yeah.
right.
No, he never
So,
did.
it's a learning curve for,
But
it's a learning curve for us as a police.
and if he wanted to do these.
Well,
we've seen so far is-
He was there 14 years. He's probably been the longest standing mayor of all.
I think so.
14 years. He did. And then again, there comes a time when it's a time for a change. You can only do so much, and after that, you get buried in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get there all blinders and you
Yeah.
you see
Tunnel
this.
vision.
Because I think would show them.
That's what I'm, people get tired of listening to saying this, I think over and over again, I think we need
So
to,
yeah, so it's not.
which is fine.
But
But we have,
honestly, it's one of the ones that she
still
filled out.
pre and post stuff.
But I think this year they had 2 women in a row, from mayor to mayor.
I noticed here in town, 2 years after I got here.
Really?
I was thinking,
They've been back there for a while. Somebody ordering pizza? Are they back there eating dinner?
I thought I saw someone bring a case of beer.
Yeah, it's been a long night.
When we decided to open up the post here, we had a first meeting at the Presbyterian Church, in their little office. We're looking around, there's a colonel, a World War II gal, in a uniform. It says Maples. We knew that the Maples settled this area. So we tried to figure out who he was. We could never figure out who he was, because we were going to name the post after. We just hopefully pull in all of the scenes first. Figure out who it was. So we're stumbling around for a name, and guy from all the post two, commander at that time. So when we got a CEO from USA over here, he wants to change the post to rather than McDermott. He said, but we're not gonna let him, because we've been on the post two since 1937, and the name's not gonna change. So we tried to figure out who he was. We could never figure out who it was, because we were going to name the post after. That's what I'm, So I said, you might think about doing that. He says, because he's gonna fund us on. That's good, that's cool. I found out it was his personal thing that he was gonna do. USA said, no, we deal with departments, which is states, but not the individuals. But we'll keep the difference.
I'd say there's some pretty intense discussion going on back there.
I was hoping it'd be quick.
Well, maybe all the questions. I go easier on you though. Is this the last item? 18. Selena, is 18 the last item?
Yes.
Has anybody ever been to the restaurant, the Jalapenos down here?
Yes.
Huh? Their chilaquiles are the most outstanding ones in the state of Texas.
I'm gonna have to try that.
If you've never had one, try one. Everybody I've taken there, I go there and get the chilaquiles.
Really?
They are phenomenal. And they give military and law enforcement and senior citizen discounts.
I know our guys
So have it all on the site?
Huh?
We'll see it for you.
But the chilaquila, you just have to get it the way, just tell me what a chilaquila, and
Just
I
the way
think
it's served.
it's $5.42 for two of them. With tax.
Try that.
Have you had one? Oh, every Sunday.
I went there once and I didn't.
Well, every Sunday I go there, pick two of them up, and bring them back to eat for dinner, for breakfast. Rather. I've never had in the I lived in El Paso for 42 years, but I've never had better on a chilaquila than I have here.
Really? Wow. Huh. I can't, it's been a while since I ate down there. I think it was that enchilada.
Yeah, but
I like Mia's.
oh yeah, I like Mia's too.
Big news. Saw us finally cut that water line and sewer line on the road.
Now the most original to El Paso, Texas, being on the border, restaurant is the La Palazas. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah. They
My
have
wife
the
and I
most
were-
original food.
My wife likes so far.
Oh yeah, they do.
They usually.
You ever been there? Yeah, they have the most original on the food.
Have you had theirs?
Tuesdays are really good.
One Saturday, my wife and I drove up.
They're building another one now. Quite a ways down. They're building another one. Down way down further.
Selena may have had one. Selena,
What's that?
have you had Mary's tacos
No, I never
from
have.
Bernie?
No, I never have.
Okay.
But I know people that have had them, and
Well, Saws was boring their water line this morning.
yes,
So Eddie said that the owner, what's his name?
I don't know his name.
Even with,
Dylan Wood?
you know, last,
I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
Gilbert.
Gilbert, yeah.
He'll come eventually.
He told Eddie second week of June.
Is when they're hoping
is
to
when they're
open.
hoping to open, which making it next week.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna be able to finish it up that fast. I'm betting,
mid-June
I'm betting July, I'm betting.
or July.
What restaurant's
They'll
that?
have to call him for.
Mary's Tacos.
Hmm?
Mary's Tacos.
Where's it going to be?
You know the old building that's up there next to the O'Reillys? The old house that was up there?
Longhorn irrigation and.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
They've rebuilt that into a Mary's Tacos restaurant. Mary's Tacos is famous up in the Bernie area. And when we heard they were coming in, I got my wife on Saturday morning, I said, hey, let's go to Bernie and grab one of these tacos that I'm hearing all the rave around here. It's true. They're very good.
And now, where's that?
Lives here and,
Where's that at?
Oh, Shadow King.
Parts.
Oh, yeah, right up here.
Yeah. It's gonna be the house
Yeah.
down.
Oh, right next to it.
Yes.
Yeah, just on the other side of
Good.
O'Reilly's.
When are they gonna be doing, well, they should have a grand opening in there, right?
They haven't announced that yet. They've been having an issue with getting saws to run water and sewer line up there. And CPS.
Well, you'll know more than anything when it happens. Let me know so I can take
CPS
pictures.
finished their deal, didn't
I want to make sure I get pictures. I took pictures of the last one with the riots.
Application into February, and by March, April, the end of April, we call it the system getting initiated.
Did you hear that?
I don't know, we
Yes.
have 120 people to get to.
That's the same situation
on the
on
list.
the
And there's a need to, so I emailed my two contacts every time again.
Not from there. Yes, they do.
They changed the system before. They get out and say, okay, we got this house, this house, this house, this house. I go on the computer, so they show up, or they have to do it, for actual good, that's what I'm. There's one right here.
That's typical. Yeah, that's typical. I've heard the same thing about sauce. Is they will jump from one county to the other to do jobs.
Probably 3 or 4.
Instead of knocking out, yeah, in the amount of time it takes just to drive across town, they could probably knock out 4 or 5.
Has anybody ever ate when they had it at the Bandera Cafe?
Bandera Cafe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when they closed, I think the guy that did the chili, the cook must have moved to them because the only difference between the chili quila there when we used to get them in there is they're more stuffed.
Oh, really?
With everything. And it's the same price, but they're just more stuffed.
I know the head lady from Bandera Road is now the cook at Pete's Place.
At the where?
Pete's Place.
Oh, really?
The bar, yeah. You get Mexican food.
I haven't gone there for food yet.
It's only in the evening.
Yeah.
$10, you get 5 shoot tacos.
Oh, it's not bad.
But it's fully loaded with meat.
Oh, my.
You get either beans, borracho, or you get filet.
Been a long time. I haven't seen it that long.
Hey, Eddie got the plans for the latest set.
Is it different?
He was just getting started on it, so I don't know.
Same hacienda that's up in.
No.
No, this is
Residential.
But it, all over the place.
Yeah, which is not making he was starting to tap into the existing product line after a while. And they found me out.
That's still set up back there. Oh, well, we've gone around enough when we turn the fire truck around because we're not backing at it. It's not going to happen. And we got him to do a 3-point turn. It's acceptable. But he comes back with that. He was trying to convince Eddie back when he was talking about doing living on the first floor, living on the second floor, first floor, commercial studio, or whatever it's called.
I'm
Trying to
sorry,
convince
so
Eddie that wasn't commercial property. And he was, I told him, no, it makes it a commercial property.
The way it is,
Run a business
yeah.
at that first floor. We went, and then there was something about, and then there was something about, something about the way that they were doing, you know how they were doing like a breezeway cover between buildings? There was an issue with that being sprinkled. And he didn't want to sprinkle that. So, no, when you build commercial buildings together or multi-family structures together, you have to continue that all the way through this. He didn't want to do that. So you were in the fire breaker. And we're going back and forth with that guy. The width of the parking was an issue. The number of parking spaces, redlining it for fire lane. Oh, parking's going to be fine. And we made it worse on him because we told him what the specs that we required for fire lines are on the width. And you know the width is always an issue with that, going back to Barnesville. So it's just that thing is going back and forth. It came back, and he unrolls it in my hearing. Oh, I'm like, what is it? He says, Hacienda's on the board again. I think it's probably, man, I want to say that's the fourth set. It's just going crazy. And I'm all for doing something. Are they? It's closer to it's going to be closer to like an upscale town home. With probably better exposure. Yeah, see, it's not the, yeah. 200 unit mega. That one down, apartments that are being built on 1560 down towards that's it's going to be something else. Where I live, fortunately, it's getting older.
Pretty well also down in that place.
It's going to be nice.
What's that? Oh, where I live now is I've been living there for some traffic on 1560. But I haven't been able to build. The first time we went to build at Kneecap, Hurricane Harvey hit. Watch the other people build because they'd already got
down.
close the time, but we got the price.
Sure, they're going to come back with a code. And I think I see a crew today that I saw they were finishing up a part of the edge on the sidewalk. And that's all that was going on.
And when we get ready to,
and I saw a couple of this evening when I was coming back over, I saw a couple of asphalt trucks pulling up out there. So I think they're dumping asphalt. They dumped a big pot of asphalt out there the other day. I have no idea where we put that, but it's gone now.
piece of plywood went into the windshield. And it says, yeah, the insurance company can cover the car, but the windshield's expensive.
I've seen 1604, they're moving the lanes over to outside, trying to put a barricade.
Starts ends next month.
What's going on?
Maybe.
The 1604 widening.
Oh,
no, this is a mega project. It's probably going to take 15 years.
We won't, I won't see it.
I'm
going on 81.
Dave, I'm telling you, I don't think I'm going to see it. It's completion. This is going to be San Antonio's version of I-35.
I'd like to just see them complete this little one right up here, right on House.
I know.
Look how long it's taken, and they don't seem to be going anywhere with it right now.
Well, you know what they did? They didn't get funded. And so they've started down other 3060s instead. And next year we're going to go back to the funding for this. So they're going to do that in first, thank goodness. But the potential is that we're going to have 1604 and that going on San Antonio and that railroad all at the same time. All at the same time. But they're widening 1604 to 10, 5 lane on either side. From Bandera Road all the way to I-35. It's going to be great. I have a funny feeling. I won't be driving right now. It's section they have done. I haven't been out there since they finished it.
The section that's complete is beautiful.
I have not seen it.
No traffic, you just fly.
I was hoping to get that 211 down from Bandera to 10. Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah, that's supposed to happen, but I heard that there's an issue with some of the landowners.
I thought they already bought it.
No, I heard that there's a couple of holdouts, and the last thing I heard was the state was already talking about eminent domain.
I heard also too about Calabria to Trenton. Supposedly that's been bought. So they can bring it all in like an hour.
Yeah. Anything that will fix Calabria is I'm not a fan. I won't drive down. I just will not do that. My wife, it's one of the places she likes to go to. And when we were having to go to Corpus a lot, we'd go down there in the afternoon, get out of work, we'd go down there to a little restaurant and grab something to eat on the way down. And I've been honest, we finally sold that house. But it was a nightmare getting there. I hated when they get food. I'll wait till later at any time of the day.
Especially in the Alamo Ranch area.
Oh, it's awful. Just like
We got the signs up, not spot, the square. Like everybody's.
yeah, right. Easy for you to say.
Those lights just aren't counted right now.
Oh, it's, I don't know that even count them. When it comes to the number of cars, it's just crazy. Did you like it? I had it on there.
I wasn't a fan of their extreme.
Yeah.
They're really sweet.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to do with the top of those guys. They'll do fundraisers all day long. All you have to do is say, yeah, I'd like to participate in that flyer.
Okay, so, like if you're trying to do fundraising night or whatever, is that what you're talking about? Slim's Chicken, used to do them. Really was really nice outside. A lot of them around here will work with you. 15 to 20% of sales.
We went to, they had a new manager at Helotes, and we went to the ads. She said, oh, I got there first, and I said, how does it work? She was, well, they get, I forget the amount off the ticket, we just turn in the receipt. I said, cool. And I walked around and talked to people. She said, hey, turn this receipt, I wasn't supposed to do that. Well, we ended up getting like $400 or $500. Freaked out her boss. So she got in trouble and says, you're supposed to mail the flyers out and you can't be on the property.
What's the name of that restaurant by Las Palapas? It's chicken. Bush's. Yeah, did you know that that's the only restaurant that will sell chicken gizzards anywhere in the area?
I believe it.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
If you like chicken gizzards.
Yeah, I'm not a big gizzards fan.
The only one. There is a
learning
chicken
about
place
gizzards.
around us that will sell them.
I've eaten their gizzards and they're just a little too tough.
Yeah.
My mom used to cook me their tender.
How did she fix them if they were tender? You don't got the recipe though, right?
No, my mom belonged.
Well, that's the same with my mom.
She had it, like, boiled for
Oh yeah, you gotta boil them.
I lived on the farm, so.
Yeah, me too. And they said that you,
I saw something in their hands.
and when I lived on a farm, we actually ate.
Yeah, she said, oh, I'm making kidneys, I'm boiling it.
We actually on the farm, when I lived on a farm, my grandpa actually fixed the chicken feed.
Yeah. The HEB sells them. Chicken feed. Yeah. I've never had it.
What's that from Cooper Browns?
It's pretty much a year out.
They close it, they finally close the property.
When my grandpa did the butchering, I was with him, I was only 5, 6 years old. When my parents lived in Detroit, and I lived in the farm with them in the summer. He dropped me out, and he went to the farm, and he made me watch, which I watched, that's what you do as a kid. And he'd grab the bull that he was gonna kill.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd take a hammer, and he'd hook that to and he'd come up and he'd hit it one time, and he hit like that, and down he'd go. Then they did the butchering. And then he did, and when I was about 6 or 7, he made me actually cut a rooster's head off. And what happened was that rooster, they trained the roosters to fight the chicken, right? And what he did was, and I always walked around barefoot, that damn rooster attacked me. So he said, I'll show you. I went in and cried to my grandpa, he come out, he had me the axe, he held the rooster down like that, and maybe he'd chop his head off. And we ate him.
Yeah, there you go.
We live on the farm, we had root cellars.
Yeah.
And I remember churning butter, making butter, help with the butter. You'd have to be, and I live on a farm to know that stuff.
Did the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't live on the farm there, 11 acres, we had pigs and cows. But we're down in Arkansas, too. My dad's family. Trailer about over there and all that stuff. So we've got to
He'd
see
have
that.
his, Pat and Queenie, he'd have his 2 horses, and they'd be pulling them for the wheat and all that stuff, and the plows, and I'd be behind throwing stuff out.
What they were supposed to approve, it's not the final decision, it's a preliminary level decision, like we still will have to come back for final expenditure. Just to let us, kind of, yeah, exploratory, like, can we do the research for it?
How much is going to cost to get somebody to do it?
Yeah,
exactly. We got it next year. Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Anybody want water?
Yes, please.
I'm surprised that,
So you know, those are small bottles.
I bet you they're gonna be surprised to see that we're still hanging the road.
I know.
Trying to wait us out.
He said, oh, let's get it.
What do you call the people that stay at the bitter end, the hard cases? They're the hard cases over there, the gallery.
I looked up a lot of recipes for the gizzards, but you gotta cook them a long time. Actually, what you do is you just take them and throw them in a boiling pot, and just let them cook for at least 40 minutes.
I bet you, if you got my wife's with that steam cooker, I bet you the steam cooker is very big. So.
I don't know.
Yeah, that might work.
You think it's a
It works on just about anything. I mean, we used to steam cook,
Pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker,
I used to do roasts in a pressure cooker. And, you know, roasts normally take 3-4 hours to do right. Half an hour, 40 minutes. And it was good because you weren't losing a lot of
Yeah.
you weren't getting a lot of evaporation of the ingredients.
My friends will do that though. They'll take ribs, put them out on the grill real quick, get them seared, put them in the pressure cooker, and then bring them back out and put the barbecue sauce on, put it back on there.
Sear them one more time with the sauce on it.
My sister does what they call sous vide, and she'll go out and do the steaks outside once, put them in the sous vide, and when they're done, she takes them back out, puts it on the pit again, gets them crisp, and this is the best thing I've ever had.
This is a long conversation. You gave him something too tough, Clint.
I knew one person that was good at that against.
Or too controversial. Maybe we should put it that way.
Yeah, we want to go in debt under their tenure or whatever. Look at it, return on investment. You went into debt to buy your house? Yeah, you did. There's a reason, right?
Yeah. Do you think the return's going to be fairly random on it?
There's potential for some, yes. Right. But rapid economic development, it can still be a few years.
Could be a while.
It's not like,
Right.
but within 5 years, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully sooner. That development that's going on out there is just bringing so much interest.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
More than married.
I get mail from Open Door.
Yeah.
And they give me we're going to quote you this, and the low end's like super high. The ground one, you got to kid me, you know.
Yeah.
It's just from, well, my house, I bought it 36 years ago, 32,000. Well, if you get 180, you know, 200 something.
I got one in the middle, the parking lot we own in Old Town. And they said, we'll give you 22,000 cash right now, if you
For the
accept."
parking lot?
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I mean, the property's probably worth $200,000-300,000, man, not $22,000.
I got a text today asking me if I wanted to sell my property at 5025 Romford Drive, Corpus Christi. So I couldn't resist, I had to text them back saying, I sold that last July, sorry.
And now
Yeah, shoot me over an offer.
my problem is I have a 915 number and I don't use it on my cell phone. And everybody has my number, which is only about a half a dozen now. And all these 915s, they have a call center.
Yeah.
There's an actual call center
I
in
get a lot
El
of that
Paso,
too.
a big call center, and that's where they place all these calls. So I just delete them and block them. And they have, I did the research, they do actually have programs that will literally block everything and then never ring again. The trouble is, they're bought out by these companies immediately.
And you're right back into it.
And you're right back into this here again. The moment that they come out, they pay them a price, buy them out.
Maybe that's what we should do, guys.
Yeah, right.
There's gotta be money in it on the back end somewhere.
Somebody's making money on it. No matter what phone you get and you use the cell phone blockers, they're still going to ring.
I bought that property out there at Bingo, and like 4 years later I sold it. Yeah, this. They called, well, we'll pay you, because before it became a subdivision, it was $17,000 for that 4 acres, right? So we bought it, and I said, well, we'll give you $45,000. I said, no, I made $20,000 in the 4 years that I had it. So,
Well.
Did you enjoy dinner?
I wish.
I thought you guys went home and didn't tell us.
I was
Snuck out the back.
Do you have a beard?
I left you tape so you wouldn't have to lick it.
Oh.
You still licked it? It's toxic.
50 years of looking at us, I'm a bad house.
We're faithful.
All right, really?
Are we on? We're on. All right, we are back in session. It is 8:41. Thank you for the endurance of our remaining guests. We are now going to look at item number 18, looking for a motion a second for item 18 as written.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we discuss and take action on item number 18.
Second?
I'll second it.
By Councilwoman Massey. Okay, Councilwoman Crossan.
So after deliberation and discussion in the executive session there, I would like to say that the item that I will be for the item as written.
Okay. I would like to state for the record, as I didn't state it already, no decisions were made in executive session. Make that clear. Councilwoman Massey?
I agree with Councilmember Ross.
Councilman?
I agree.
Councilman? Agree. No additional discussion? Okay. So all in favor of item number 18 as written to authorize the City of Helotes Economic Development Corporation Executive Director to engage in services required for possible acquisition of real estate. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Sorry. No. We aye or?
I was an aye.
Aye, okay. And one nay. Motion carries. And that brings us to the conclusion. We're going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. It is 8:43 p.m.